Hi, Matt.
Yeah, I feel like you're.
Hi, Wagner.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Matt. Okay.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
All right. Knee's all right.
Giving her?
Yeah, trying to. With a cane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heather?
Hello.
Yes. Why are you short?
If you do that, then
I wonder Kayla, how long are we going to wait for everyone to kind of get in?
I'm just going to give it until 12 o'clock, so we'll start right at 12.
I thought what time is it?
it's talking.
Okay, sweet. No, I say we wait a little bit to make sure we get a good through it.
I think I only had like 20 respond to it, so there's a few I'm sure that will not be on.
How many responded? Sorry.
Just let me double check. I think there's a couple that have conflicts with tests and things that are going on at the same time.
Okay.
Just let me double check.
Well, I think really the goal for Emma and I, we were talking, is just to like explain what we want to try to do during this time, and then talk about having a class like session on Thursdays.
Awesome.
And having 2 times, like one at 11 o'clock Atlantic time and then one at 2:30 Atlantic time. So maybe we're getting people that are in different time zones.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
And then as we move forward, once people start to get used to the new exercises and stuff, it'll be a class. So we'll take you guys through a class at 11 and at 2:30.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right, so I guess we'll get started. I know you guys have online classes that you need to get back to and some schoolwork, but hello, everyone. It's certainly nice to see all of you. Campus is pretty quiet without everyone around. But I just wanted to have this opportunity. I'm sure we'll schedule a few more as the days go on and the weeks go on. But I wanted to just have an opportunity for you to chat with Matt and Emma, talk about Team Builder, talk about what that might look like as it changes in the coming weeks to adjust to some workouts, and what that would look like for you guys. So if you could mute your microphones, that would be wonderful just to start. I know some of you have, but if you're like me and you have a dog that might be barking in the back, can be loud at times. So this is an opportunity for you to hear from Matt, to hear from Emma about your programs, to ask any questions. So I'll let them start this off and talk about kind of what you're going to see changes. Matt just talked about a class idea, which is really exciting for lots of us who are at home and don't have the equipment that we need to do our regular workouts. And then if you have any questions, just certainly raise your hand, and I can moderate those questions as we go through. But if you could leave your microphones muted until you do have a question, and we can kind of control the volume that way. So definitely welcome to everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully this is informative for you. So I'll pass over to Matt.
Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? Some of you may have not met me before, but I'm hoping most of you recognize me. So the whole idea is trying to keep up with what we've been doing with you guys. I think one of the fears that most athletes are going to have when they're not having access to equipment or the routines is that they're going to lose all their gains. And don't fret. You're going to do fine. You guys are all young. You're in a situation where as long as we can keep giving you stress, you're not going to lose anything. And if you do have weights at home, and if you're lucky enough, we're going to make sure that all of those individuals communicate with us through Team Builder, through Kayla or someone, so we can have a chat and manage. But we're going to be putting everyone on. I believe, Emma, you're going to step in if I'm wrong, but I think it's a 5-day body weight athletic training session. Is that right, Emma?
Yeah, so there's 3 days that are like power strength, really similar to like what your normal program would be. It's just modified. If you have weight too, you can add it for your strength stuff, and you can also kind of be creative with that. We'll talk a little bit more. And then the other 2 days are more power and some conditioning on those ones. So that's phase one, and then we'll continue to adapt and progress those.
Yeah, so essentially we're going to still make sure that you're doing some jumping, change in direction, some agility like action, so that you're still keeping up with those gains we've established. And then, you know, like the thing that we lose the quickest is your ability to move fast. And we really need to make sure that we don't lose any of that, whether it's in the upper limb or the lower limb. So we really are going to focus on a lot of that stuff in the classes that we will be doing. So right now, the idea is to have a class potentially. I think the class will first start with you guys just kind of coming in at an 11 o'clock Atlantic time. If that doesn't work, Kayla and I and Emma will figure out a time that works. And then in the afternoon around 2:30 on Thursdays. So I think the first couple sessions will just be like, how are you guys doing? How are you doing with the programming? Is there any questions? And then if I start to notice that we're getting in a good flow, we'll start to actually do a class at 11 o'clock and then again at 2:30. And the comment is that everyone in the house is welcome to do the class. It's not just for you. So anyone in your household that wants to hang out and do this stuff with us, by all means, get them involved. The thing is that we all need to realize that exercise during this time is probably the most important thing that you can keep up with. There's all kinds of benefits from exercise, but some of the best are the mental things and arguably like the ideas of isolation and loneliness essentially get deleted when you start to do some exercises. And especially when we're doing it in like a community like setting like what we're doing right now. So, you know, the whole idea is to try to get everyone to realize that we all need to learn to enjoy the exercises we're doing. We need to learn to have fun with it. And we need to get you guys to buy in and want to learn more. So you guys are going to learn all kinds of different body weight like approaches to things we've been doing. Emma, is there anything you want to chime in with that?
Just we'll host those ones. Kayla, I'll send you the link. We'll do it through Google Meet. If that's all right with you guys. That's just the platform that we're using. So it's easier for us to manage on that side for that training group that we'll do.
Is that going to be okay, Kayla? Sorry, I know she said yes.
For sure.
Yeah, it's just because we've set everything up kind of through Google Meetings, and yeah, it seems to work just as well as Zoom.
It's a nice opportunity to, yeah, it's really similar, to kind of come together and for you guys to see each other. So you'll have the program, you can do it every, like, your 5 days of the week. Do it on your own, but then it's just an opportunity for you to see each other, check in with us. We'll be on there to take you through stuff. And that community piece that Matt was talking about is really good while we're all stuck.
Yeah, so you can see like how I set up my basement. I set it up so that when I'm teaching people classes in here or working with patients through video that they're able to see me move around. So when we start to do this next week, set it up in a way so that we can see how you guys are moving. Because what we will do is we'll go through and take a look at how you guys are doing. And then if we see anyone struggling, we'll coach you through it. And then everyone else in the class can kind of learn what we're working on with those individuals. But
yeah, and it gives us an opportunity too to like actually check in with you. If you do have any equipment, then we can modify and adapt for you as well and give other people ideas for how they can make it work.
And what are some ideas there, Em? Why don't we went over this, but I'll let you tell them the different ideas you're thinking of.
What do you mean?
I don't know, like putting rocks into your backpack.
Oh, yeah, you guys all have a backpack, right? Somewhere, a bag that you can put some weight in, and then you have weights. Whether you actually have weights or not, you can figure out how much it weighs, or you can just do it based on reps and find a good weight amount of books in there for your press or for rows or deadlifts. We had people using like a case of water for deadlifts. Just trying to be a little bit creative with what you have access to and how to adapt. And there are definitely ways that we can do it.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I think maybe hopefully we all have, if you don't have, tell Kayla or whatever, but it'd be nice if we all had some kind of resistant band. Woo. So if you don't have one, sorry?
A bungee cord.
A bungee cord works. Just make sure it's not an old one because you don't want to take a bungee cord in the face. And, you know, the band actually is essentially like a universal gym. I will show you guys how to use it. I have this little mini gym for my kids, so this is what I'm using to do all my kind of hanging and stuff on. It still works. I just go from my knees. So, Kayla, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I guess I just wanted this platform for students and coaches to really understand that you guys are still here and you're still a great resource to us.
Yeah.
We are so distant and we are spread apart. Sometimes we forget that those resources are there for us. So for all of the athletes that are there and all the coaches, feel free to message on TeamBuilder, send an email if you have questions. If you're getting a body workout and you have the access to doing weights, or if you have a gym in your basement or you have a gym you have access to, they can adjust that plan as well so that you're continuing to work. But I think at this point, you're all still elite athletes. You're all still working hard. You're all still trying to get to that next level. So we just need to make sure that we're there supporting you as much as we can and accommodating that. So I think Matt and Emma and Mark are, again, still great resources for us. So if you have, you know, limited equipment and you send them a note and say, here's what I have, what can I do with this? They can certainly help with that. Or if you're, you know, doing workouts online or you're trying some different workouts that you have access to, certainly they are still here to support you. And if you have any questions, I'm sure they would take a private call, or if you want to text them or email, they're accessible. So
Yeah.
that was my main thing, is that we can still have access to those great workouts. And I love the idea of a class. I know we have a little bit of an issue with students all over the world. So I know some students right now, it's 12 o'clock the next day. And so for us to manage the time distance and things like that, we've got students in Mexico who are behind 3 hours and across Canada. So certainly grateful to everyone who's tuned in today and dealt with the time changes accordingly. But lots of us are, you know, have access to the internet and things like that. So we can certainly still use those resources as much as possible. And even if we can record those workouts and then maybe post them so that somebody could do it at a later date if they weren't accessible or they had a class meeting or something else going on. So.
Yeah, of course. And I think the thing is, guys, is that you just got to learn to reach out and communicate with us. We're here to help 100%. And I think I'll hit the same point I said before. The most important thing when you lose access to the gym is to maintain your springiness and your explosiveness. Don't lose that. Your ability to be fast and quick is what makes you an elite athlete. And we got to make sure we keep up with that. So when we start having, or when you start looking at the programming that we're doing and you see any of the explosive stuff, by all means, practice it every day. Just make sure you guys aren't doing anything that hurts. Make sure that you're allowing your body to recover. Don't try to do all of your schoolwork and then try to bang out a workout and feel exhausted every day. That's not going to go well. You need to still remember the things that we were talking about from day one, which is make sure you feel good and ready for your workout and you don't feel like you're just kicking your butt every day. That's not going to help us. Just wait. So yeah, sorry, I just had a phone call come in. So yeah, I think the whole idea is that we try to keep in communication, and I'm sure Kayla's up for it. I'm sure we'll try to do another meeting like this in 2 to 3 weeks where hopefully we have maybe more people and we can have a more open forum.
Yeah, I guess at this point, is there anybody that has athletes or coaches that have questions or anything?
Yeah, this is a good time. Let's do that right now. Let's open it up and ask for any questions.
I know you guys are shy on Zoom, but
Don't be shy. There's nothing to be shy.
you can just manually unmute
Look
yourself.
how awkward. I feel really awkward right now and vulnerable in this position, but I'm dealing with it.
Does anybody still have access to weights? Like, just raise your hand if you have access to strength equipment right now. Most of you do. There's a couple who certainly don't. So of those people who do not have access to like a band or anything like that.
A band would be a good thing to have.
I have a band.
You can get on
So really what you're saying, Matt, is you can still use the team builder and just not do weights, just more just your body mass and still use what you can on there. Is that
Well, so the thing is that we're gonna for those people that do not have weights, we need you to communicate with us so we can put you on a body weight specific program. For those of you that do have weights and are able to continue to follow the team builder programming, then you just stay with it. You don't change anything. I would still suggest like doing the classes on Thursday, because that's where you're going to get some one-on-one with us, and we're going to like really get into that explosive stuff and the coaching cues that you need to be thinking about.
And you will see some changes to that program, because you were all on in-season ones, right? So that you'll see some changes there. But if you do have weights, then we can kind of continue with that, like a normal off-season program. If you don't, then yeah, we'll go more body weight stuff and can definitely still get work done.
So
what I might do is I might create a spreadsheet and have all of the athletes who are on the program right now, and I'll send it to all of you again. If you can just input what you have access to, and then they can tailor your program according to that. So if you don't have access to any weights, make sure you include that so that they can put you on the at-home plan. That's mostly body weight stuff. And if you have access to a full set of weights, then include that. If you have access to, a smaller set of things or a certain limit of weights, then you can include that as well. But that way, at least I can share that with Matt and Emma, and they'll have an idea of what everyone has access to, including those who aren't able to be on.
no, that's awesome.
Perfect. Thank you, Kayla.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome. All right. And no questions, eh? That's what I'm assuming, Kayla?
Yeah, they're pretty shy still.
Yeah.
They have to get used to this. It's like,
I don't blame them. They'll get used to it, though. I bet you in 3 weeks it's going to be a whole different story.
I hope so. Is everyone okay right now? Any other questions, urgent matters?
Thumbs up if everything's good.
Everyone's feeling healthy? Good thumbs
How do
up.
you what, Sam?
Can you ask them how to join Zoom?
Sam wants to know how to join Zoom.
Okay, I would have sent him an email link, and he just needs to click on that.
Because the link isn't working.
Okay, I'll send him a separate message and just.
Hey, Sam.
Hey.
Hi, Sam.
So maybe we can have another meeting next Thursday, Kayla. We'll do the same thing again if there's some people that just weren't able to do it. And we could maybe spend a little bit of time with what we just spoke about and then open up the questions again.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I just want to make sure all the athletes recognize we're still trying to keep things moving forward, and we're looking out for them and we care about their health.
Exactly. Is this a good time for everyone? 12 o'clock work?
Great time for me.
I'm assuming most teachers aren't putting things right at 12 o'clock because it's a typical lunchtime, but if they are, if that time doesn't work, just send me a quick note and I'll make some adjustments.
Thanks for doing this, guys.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for everyone following, and everyone stay healthy and stay fit. It's the most important thing we could be doing right now. Get good sleep.
Don't nap all day.
Yeah, don't nap all day and stay home.
All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Get your schoolwork done. And we'll
See ya.
the next meeting.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.